We are live. So we are jumping into Claim the Stars. This is episode 8. And so, unfortunately, wow, all the cameras are out of order. I screwed up and didn't get the cameras in order this time. I was so caught up getting everybody squared away. But I will do that while everyone is introducing their characters. So why don't we go around the table and let everybody introduce their players? So why don't we start off with Jeremy, even though it looks like Matt down there, because I got the cameras all messed up. So Jeremy, why don't you tell us who you're playing?
Okay. So I'm playing Levi Roosevelt, who's a human clone, elderly person who sort of likes to pretend he's a cowboy and or work on old sets of armor. Instead of hot rods, it's armor. But he's also now the captain of this group and was indisposed for last session. So, because I was gone.
Yep.
And gonna catch up and see what all these people have gotten us into.
Yeah, and I'm actually excited for when I finally get to introduce you to your armor, because I actually have a plan in store for you when you get your really cool armor. When I say your really, really cool armor. But we're just taking so damn long to get to the really cool stuff that I want to get to. I may have to introduce it sooner because everything's just taking so damn long. But anyways,
it's a space opera thing. It's the genre.
It's the character drama. Aston had to go and get himself arrested. No, but anyways, that's something we'll catch Jeremy up on as we're playing. So now we've got Levi introduced. Arthur, why don't you tell us? Sorry, Matt. Tell us who you're playing.
I am playing Arthur Haeckel. He is a young scientist and inventor, and he's kind of on the run from his past.
Very cool, very cool. And Shaun, go ahead and give us a shout out to tell us who you're playing.
I'm playing Spencer. Spencer Witt. He is the team's teenager stowaway who turns out to have psionic abilities. He is on the run from a former criminal organization that was using him for those said abilities. So he's kind of trying to keep a low profile, but hanging out with these guys, that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, they're not doing a very good job of keeping low profile, are they, lately? So
not as of last game. So we'll see what happens.
I don't think there's been a game yet so far where low profile's been their middle name. But anyways, huh?
I keep using my powers for good. I need to stop that.
Use your powers for good. Nice. But anyways, so where we left off, we're actually going to speak. We're going to actually, the camera's going to check in with first with Arthur, actually. So Arthur is currently in the security office at the spaceport. Now he's sitting in the waiting room, sort of this like lounge seating area with a bunch of other people, and you have in your hand it looks like just like a piece of like glass or something, but what's on it is like this digital readout of like a form, and you have in your hand a stylus, and you're filling out this digital form that's going to get uploaded to the computer database. And basically you're filling out your witness statement and what happened and all that kind of stuff, and what happened. And they actually want it like handwritten, and it gets like, you even see like in the top right corner where it auto saves as you write. You know, you can erase your words and stuff like that, but it's still auto saving what you write. So it knows when you make mistakes and stuff. So it's like it's a mixture of handwritten and computer. So but anyway, so you're in the waiting room and you're filling out a witness statement about the event that transpired. Curious, are you being completely honest about everything that transpired?
Yes, I would think so.
Are you leaving any details whatsoever out?
Not specifically. I mean, he probably would not mention that Aston like overkilled the guy, but just, he shot him dead before he could kill more people or,
Yeah.
shoot further.
Do you mention Shaun being there at all? Knowing he got away? Do you mention him using psychic abilities?
No, because he wasn't really. I mean, he was part of it, but not really. So no, he wouldn't. He would not mention Shaun.
Okay.
Or you mean
Okay.
Spencer? Yes.
Yes. All right. So you do not mention him. So you're not completely honest. Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm just asking. Just curious. Okay.
I'm not lying.
No, you're omitting. You're omitting. There is a difference. Okay. All right. Okay. Good to know. All right. And so you fill out this information, and so you're uploading it with this device, and your comlink, well, your actually your PDD device, your data slab or whatever you refer to it, begins to chime. You receive a one-way communication, a video message from your sister.
Oh, well,
Yes.
I answer it.
Very cool. So you see your sister before you. Do you want me to fill in the gaps on your sister, or do you want to describe her to me and who she is, or what?
I think it would be easiest if you did.
Okay. Okay. Well, what does your character look like?
Well, he's tall, thin, and I don't remember. I mean, his portrait. Okay, tall, thin. He has olive-colored skin, dark hair, and dark eyes.
Okay. All right. So she has a similar, like dark hair as you. She has a longer face than you, a longer nose, and she has softer eyes, and she's definitely she's not unattractive or anything like that, but she's definitely not like the prettiest belle of the ball. But she's got her hair pulled back in a tight ponytail, and she's a scientist by trade, and of course this is a one-way message because she's not in the star system. It's taken her probably. It looks like by the transmission, it looks like it's taken 5 days to get here, and she tells you. She says her greetings, and she says she misses you dearly, and she talks about how she's found a home with Astra Unum, and how she's taken quite fondly to her work. She even mentions how she actually has found purpose for the first time in a long time doing work with them. Then she actually seems to grow quite excited. You can tell by the way she speaks when she's talking about her newest project. She doesn't speak in really details, but she says that she's been set up on an outpost on a remote planet, and she says that if you get to Ilar soon, I've planned to. She says, I'm hoping I can see if you guys can come my way when you get a chance. I've made a discovery that I think you'd be very interested in, and I could probably use your help. So if you get a chance to come out this way, I'll send you the information on the system we're in. So just, whenever you get time, just come out this way. Of course, it's Astra Unum, so, it's Astra Unum work. So, but, I think I can use a hand on the research. So, look, I know I can't give you much more details, but until you can get signed off on the work from Mr. Wright, then I probably can't give you any more. Just speak to Mr. Wright about it. I've sent him a message also about it. So speak to him about it first chance you get, and get clearance with him. So, anyways, I'd love to see you. It seems like it's been a long time. I know it hasn't been, but anyways, I'm really liking it here. It's awesome. The work is great. Man, I'm just so excited about the things I'm doing. You wouldn't believe. Wow, it's just hard to explain the kind of things that Mr. Wright is funding. The science I'm doing out here is crazy. But anyways, look, if you get a chance to come out this way, I'd love to have your help on this project. But anyways, all right. If you happen to hear anything from Palisadia, let me know. All right, bye. And then she just kind of like reaches out, and you can see she touches the screen, and then the feed dies. So, all right. And so shortly after that, you hear your name get called by an officer, security officer. And they ask you to go into interrogation room 3. You comply?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you head into interrogation room 3, which is which it includes. So first off, there's one door that it slides open, and then there's like I don't know what they call it. Maybe Jeremy knows actually. Maybe he knows stuff about sci-fi. Sorry, not sci-fi, but like stuff like medieval times. What do they call it when they had it like a castle wall where you had like 2 doors in a castle wall, where like in a gate where they had one like that opened and they didn't open the other one yet, and then they open the other one after you pass through. It's kind of like that actually. It's almost like a quarantine hallway,
Or like an airlock.
kind of like an airlock, but it's inside a building.
Yeah.
But the reason is it seems like you believe you're going through some kind of scan. During that short, it's only like 6 feet, right? And if you had any sort of inkling to become psychic or make a character that's psychic in the future, you'd be feeling a slight headache right now because you're getting psychically scanned. You're also getting scanned for weapons, metallic objects, and that kind of stuff like that. You're getting all kinds of scanned.
Did they not take everything? They didn't.
Oh yeah, they
my
did.
Stuff.
They probably checked to see if you had it and if you were legal to have it. And
Okay.
when you're in the waiting room, you're allowed to have your stunner pistol. You're a citizen,
Okay.
so you're allowed to have it. Yeah. And so, but no, yeah, actually, they probably confiscated it. Yeah, just while you're in the police security office. Yeah. I'm assuming you wouldn't resisted that, would you?
No.
Okay. All right. So then you're escorted in the interrogation room, and so it's basically just a table and 2 chairs on either side, and there's already an individual sitting on the other side, and he just kind of motions for you to sit down across from him, and he says, so we've got your information uploaded here. He says, thank you for being thorough with your information, your statement. Before we leave, is there anything else you'd like to just run by us, just to, clear up on your statement before you get the chance to leave?
I don't think so. I think I filled it out thoroughly and correctly. Yeah. I mean, did you have questions?
Okay. So actually, this is a good time to give everybody their bennies and reset adventure cards. All right. Oh, let me take Aston out of the party, put Levi in. Okay. All right. Now. Okay. Since you left out the part about Shaun assisting, you need to make a persuasion roll. Because he's about to put something on a vid screen.
Okay. Do you want me to roll right now?
Yes.
I will play my adventure card, which is Ace, which means
Nice.
I automatically succeed with a raise.
Nice. Okay. Sweet.
Okay. I assume he's going to show
Yes.
Spencer doing
No.
something.
He does not. This is what he does. He shows a vid screen, and it shows a clear camera feed of a citizen getting blasted with a concussion blast, and that wall getting blown to bits, and all that debris falling down on top of him, and then to the side of it, you see a psychic scan readout, and you see the active psychic readouts, and he says, "You see, because we've scanned you, and we've scanned all the security personnel, and we're currently doing a autopsy on the other attackers, and none of you, well, we won't know the attackers yet, but none of the other people are capable of active psychic abilities. Someone harmed the citizen with active psychic talents. Care to explain?"
I didn't even realize this had happened. I mean, yeah, no, I have no idea. There was just so much going on. I was trying to help the diplomat lady, and yeah, I was kind of hiding behind the wall, so I didn't see a whole lot.
He says, interesting. Maybe we have a third party involved in this that we're not aware of. Thank you for your insight. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
He says, well, this was our last really major concern. He says, unfortunately, while you're here, we'll go ahead and tell you the details of your friend. Let's see. Aston Courtney. Oh, geez, he has a lot of last names.
He does.
Oh, geez. Yes, I'm not going to go through all these. Look, we see that his father and his mother are very important, but that doesn't mean anything to me. What matters is he's going to be in holding for some time. The investigators are currently... We have enough on him right now to keep him while we build a case against him. Now, we don't have enough to keep him without bail. So if someone wanted to bail him out, I mean, I guess they could. But I think right now we haven't set a amount for bail. But at this time, right now, he's being held. So while we unfortunately analyze the evidence against him, so that's about all I can disclose right now. So.
I mean, what are you holding him on? I mean,
well, as I
know
said,
he tends
we
to
haven't.
shoot his mouth off.
As I said, we're still building case right now. The exact charges haven't been figured out, but as you can see, he acted with quite egregious acts of violence. So, but we'll say he overstepped his bounds. It definitely didn't just act in self-defense. So, but so I'll just leave it at that. So, all right. So,
Okay. I mean, how long do you think this will take? I mean, to
Unsure at this moment.
Hmm.
You probably know by the end of the day, hopefully, at least on bail.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
All right. Okay. Well, you are free to leave, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, I guess.
Well,
Kind of-
usually people are happier to leave police security offices when they aren't being charged with anything.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, it was kind of horrible what happened. I mean, did anybody die besides the bad guys? I mean,
As of yet, we haven't determined who are all the bad guys. But if you're talking about the potential assassins, unfortunately, right now, only one of them might pull through. The other two are gone, and one of them is in very critical condition. So,
civilians?
the civilian that was hit by the concussion blast is dead, unfortunately. So, yes. So,
okay.
but there was no other people that were hit by outside fire, thank goodness. But unfortunately, without the people that the attackers, if this last one doesn't pull through, we won't know who exactly orchestrated this attack. So, we'll have other evidence we could do, but we'll drag out this investigation. It sure would have made it a lot easier if your friend Mr. Courtney hadn't have executed someone. So,
probably.
Yeah.
The diplomat and her bodyguard did they safely make it to wherever they were going? I don't even know.
Yes, they've made it to the embassy. So,
Okay, well, that's good. They should be protected there, I would assume.
yes, we've already began questioning there for them, and they've already went through their necessary scans and everything like that. So, but you're welcome to go speak with them there if you'd like to discuss this matter with them further. So, but
Okay.
But anyways, so you are free to leave, sir. So,
All right, I will take my leave then.
and then he just kind of nods and he opens the door for you to leave and tries to make the horrible experience a little more pleasant. Yeah. So, all right, out you go.
All right. Arthur will collect his things and exit the station, and then he is going to call Levi on his communicator.
Okay, so Levi, you are sitting in the offices of. God, I wrote this down, I think. Or did I write it down? Hold on. The company that makes the damn Griffin. I could have swore I wrote it down. Don't tell me I forgot to write it down. Anyways, the company that makes the Griffin.
Yeah.
You are in their offices right now, and so the way we worked you out the story is once the party landed on the planet Ilar 4 at Tycho Center, you took the landing shuttle back up to a capital ship, docked at Kalegi Station, up at the space elevator, because the capital ships can't land on the planet. And one of the capital ships belonged to the company that manufactures and loans out the Griffin Explorer, right?
Okay.
So because you were like, well, we want to get this ship transferred into our names and get the ship, so it was a good, easy way to work you out of the game and get you. So we were like, well, that's the way we'll do it. So we'll say that maybe maybe you're leaving their offices maybe when you get the call, right? And
Cool.
But they've spoken to you about they've worked it out with you, a new contract saying you guys have got the ship, you got the ship, or well, let me rephrase that. however you want to have it arranged. Y'all have the ship. It's up to
Cool.
y'all.
Yeah.
But you haven't made first payment yet because they assume that you'll need to make arrangements. So, but you need to make first payment before you go off world. So,
Okay.
all right. Okay. So, all right. And let's see. And then we'll say that you're leaving the offices, heading towards your landing shuttle. You were actually planning to meet Anthony Wright, Mr. Anthony Wright, the billionaire and also the head of Astra Unum.
Yes.
But now that you're back, we can maybe you wouldn't necessarily be the only one in that talk. So I mean, everyone can be there. So, but anyways, maybe your phone. Sorry, not your phone. Your communicator starts, blinging off while you're heading back to the landing shuttle. So,
Well, before that, I think Arthur would just do a cursory, I don't know, scan of the communicator and his personal belongings that were confiscated, just to make sure he's not bugged or something like that.
oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, just to make sure.
Make a notice roll.
Ooh,
You're confident
lighting.
you're confident that you would have found any bugs. Yeah, you're pretty thorough. In fact, maybe
Okay.
you're super aware right now because like maybe you're on edge, right? Because of everything that's happened. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're pretty confident there's nothing on you.
Okay, then he's gonna go ahead and call Levi.
Okay. Also, you notice that, well, Spencer, are you hanging around there? Like, are you going to find Arthur? Or are you just in the wind?
Um,
I'm just wondering if Spencer's going to, like, pop out of the shadows when he walks out of the police station, or is he just, like, gone?
He went downtown.
No. So that place I was going to originally, I ran off that way.
Okay, gotcha.
I figured Aston and those guys are resourceful enough, and Aston is talkative enough, he'd get himself out of it.
Okay. All right.
Or if he
Then,
had to pay somebody or whatever.
okay. All right. Then we know where Spencer's going. Okay. Then Arthur, so you use the communicator and you reach out to Levi. Okay. So Levi,
What's up, Arthur?
Hey, so we've run into a bit of a problem. There was an attempted assassination on the diplomat. Aston stopped it, but he kind of maybe killed somebody a bit too much, apparently, according to the laws here, and he is now being held.
He did. Okay, you'll have to explain that part to me later. He's where now?
He is
Arrested.
Yes. They think they'll be setting a bail for him, so we can potentially get him out, but that won't be until the end of the day. Spencer, I haven't seen him since I've been being interrogated by the police. I don't think they know he's around. But yeah, things have gone south.
Okay.
you've been
Are
filling
y'all
out
okay?
paperwork and buying a
Like-
ship and like,
I leave you guys alone for 10 minutes.
I mean, I'm
the
okay.
hell? Well, good.
The last time I saw everyone, they were okay.
Okay. Well, I got this stuff worked out with the ship paperwork, and I'm coming back down planet side.
On
Good grief.
a side note, I did get a message from my sister who says she may have a mission for us, but we have to talk to a Mr. Wright. I assume that's the head of Astra Unum.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, potential work there. So after we work things out here.
Cool. I'm sure we can get on his schedule soon. I wonder. Oh well, we'll figure it out. So we know where Aston is, but you lost or Spencer.
Yeah, I mean, previously he said something about going to a bad part of town, like a really bad part of town, but he seemed to be familiar with it. I don't know.
Do we know that he was from here? Shaun,
I don't.
did you tell it?
s-
Would Spencer have told us that? Do we? Us, unless he had been stowed away on our ship, like prior, because like we came from here, and this is where you got on the ship. I don't necessarily know that that's your home planet, right? I don't know. Answer the question, Shaun. No.
I would have told you probably that I'd been here before, but
Okay.
I wouldn't have said where I'm from. So.
Sure. Well, he's resourceful, and he knows where our ship is parked.
he has a
right?
comm link, guys.
So- No,
Yeah, we can call.
I don't know
him.
what you're talking about. Stupid teenager.
Okay. All right.
You're right. I didn't
Sorry.
think about that.
Sorry.
Stupid old elderly guy. You're right.
No, it's just players switching to like, oh, right, we're not playing fantasy anymore. It's like,
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm not sure what to do. Are you gonna come down?
Yeah, I'm getting on the space elevator. I'll probably lose connection here soon because
oh,
we
you
still haven't figured that
use
out.
the landing shuttle. The space elevator take hours.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Shuttle.
Because if you ride the space elevator too fast, you'll turn into mush. It can only go so fast. Yeah. They're more meant for cargo.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you want me to
poor,
try?
and for poor people.
after seeing the interest rates on this ship payment, I think I want to take the poor people way, except I need this shuttle. Okay, cool. I know this great sushi place we could go to for dinner. Let's see if Spencer wants to go. And I'll send Spencer a text saying we're going to meet there.
Sushi place.
That's
It's
Jeremy.
like look around Ilar. It's like fucking ice and snow and like more ice and drilling rigs and factories everywhere. There's this.
I never said
He's
it was
like, yeah, there's
fresh.
this sushi place. It's probably made out of bugs.
Synthetic.
Imitation.
So Spencer, you're down. You're just hopping off the dirtiest, dinkiest tram. The only tram that takes you all the way down to the shittiest part of town. Because you had to get off of like 3 different trams to get onto this one to get down to the lower levels. And your comm link goes off and says sushi? Question mark.
Like, I'm thinking about how many lakes and oceans are on this planet. And I'm like, yes. Yeah.
You okay?
Okay.
Can't talk. Driving.
I'm like, yep, fine. I'll be back in an hour or 2.
Cool. That's all Levi wanted to know.
It sounds like we probably should resolve Shaun's thing real quick because he might wrap up and then join you guys. Okay, so Shaun, so you get down to the gutter, like the gutter streets, right? We're talking about like it's bitter cold down here, right? So you get off and what you see is factories to the north, right? And you see a towering ice wall, like 60 feet high to your right, okay? Because this is where the ice drilling starts, okay? And there are workers just like moving about around you where they're starting to shift, all right? And to the left is where the slums are. Most of the people that live in this area are either criminals, druggies, or workers. So, you are here looking for someone to get a gun, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, because you're a little kid, you can't just go buy one, right? So, all right, and why don't you tell me about this person? Thank you, Boffin, for the host. Appreciate that. I don't know why that Streamlabs didn't pop up with uh the Streamlabs thing saying hosting, but thank you, Boffin, regardless. But anyways, so Shaun, you start heading towards this individual. What is this guy like? This person that you get your what is this underworld contact that you get things from?
So it might sound a little bit cliche, but in this part of town, it works. Um, and he runs he would never say it, but he runs a pawn shop.
Right,
It's a consignment shop.
consignment. Got it. Because pawn just sounds too. It just sounds too
that
like
attracts the wrong kind of clientele and police attention. So
right, and considering a lot of this stuff comes from like miners and like drill workers and stuff like that, who were just trying to make it to the next paycheck, right? So
yeah,
right, okay, that makes sense. Very cool, very cool.
he will make you a deal on anything. And if you just need a little bit of money to get to payday, he will, very few questions asked. You come in with a sofa, he'll give you $1 for it, but
Okay,
you owe me, $3 back if you ever want to see it again, or if not, I'm going to sell it for $15 or whatever. So I mean, he's always going to make money.
all right. We'll say his name is we'll say his name is Red Kipling.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So,
Okay.
all right. So, and we'll say that Red Kipling is we'll say Red Kipling is an unusually short man who stands on a milk carton box behind his counter, and he's got ebony skin, and keeps his hair cut very short, and his family have mostly been drill workers throughout the years, so he knows how to handle himself out here. And of course, his consignment shop is full of all manner of crap. Because, of course, given the clientele, when you arrive. So you see Red Kipling back there, and he is just doing his thing. He is back there just fiddling with odd bits, mostly equipment, that kind of stuff, at the moment when you arrive. So he seems to have some sort of gearbox when you arrive, and he's messing around with it. So, what do you do? Because you have to get his attention.
I just kind of like look. Is there like a buzzer or a bell or something to ring?
Sure.
Okay, so I just tap it.
All right. So, so you tap the bell, and at that moment, he looks at you, and you see his eyes flare, and you forgot, oh shit, in that moment, the last time you saw him, that you nicked something from his store once, just to get by. All right? Just to make ends meet, you had to nick something from the store. All right? And that was the last time you saw him. All right? Because you stole thousands of things over the years, right? I mean, just what's one thing, right? And so he just takes a swing across the table and tries to grab you. Make an athletics check. Difficulty is we'll say it's no penalty. Just try to break free from his hand as he tries to grab out after you. Hey, okay, so you do not get nabbed by him. So what do you want to do in this situation? You going to try to calm him down? Do you want to try to? What do you want to try to do?
Yeah. I'll be like, hey, look, you know, I'm a different person. I've got money. You know, can we just let that be in the past? I'm like, you know me, or you know, I was starving.
He says,
Like, look, I'll make good.
He says, "What do you want, Spencer?"
I'm like,
Make a persuasion roll.
Fucking, I'm gonna Benny that.
Okay.
Fucking persuasion. There we go.
Much better. Much better. Okay, now he says, "What do you want, Spencer?"
I need some protection. And I'm not talking about armor. I'm like,
Sorry about that. He says, "You know that piece of equipment you stole from me was worth quite a bit of money. I bet you sold that to help you get you off this rock, didn't you?"
you're right. But I've got a job that pays. And I'm here to make things right.
All right. You need a weapon.
Like, just let me know how much.
All right. What kind of weapon you wanting?
I need a pistol, something concealed.
Just a pistol. Nothing special about it. We talking energy? Ballistic?
I'm like, man, if you got a laser pistol, I'll take that.
Yeah, I've got a laser pistol. I've got one. GM needs to look at something real quick, though, so I can figure out the price.
Okay.
Because the price is a little more. Because you already owe him. If I can get this expanded wealth thing to pull up. All right, so let's look at it. Actually add a map or something like that so you guys can see. Let's bring up ILR4 for you guys to look at. There we go. So the viewers can look at something besides just the picture of the. All right. And so we're going to see, we're going to see about laser pistols. So laser pistol cost, I can't remember my own weapons. It's been so long since I made them.
250.
Okay, it's not that bad. All right. And I'll figure out the markup cost.
I just wanted something with like no recoil.
Yeah. He says, well, that thing you nicked from me wasn't cheap. He says, it's going to cost you. And it's going to be remember there's a black market cost because he knows that you're not buying it legitimately. And he's upcharging you for debts. So you're going to have to make a wealth roll at a -2.
Okay. Can I Benny that?
You can Benny wealth rolls.
Okay.
Do you have an adventure card that can help you in this situation?
Not the one I just got.
Okay.
Unfortunately. Now that means I can still pay for it. It's just my wealth would go down, right? Or I
No.
just can't
Okay.
afford it.
Okay. This is the way wealth rolls work. Okay, so if you just succeed, you get the item and your wealth goes down by 1. If you fail, you can get the item, but you go completely broke. Or you can just say, I don't have the money for it. Shaun, did you freeze? Or are you just really contemplative? Look at that face.
He fell asleep.
It's a D12. I'm just rolling really bad.
That's what happens when you're a parent of twins.
Hey, look at that.
Oh, he's back.
All right, he made it that
I forgot to put
time.
the
But he
nature in there,
only
but
had to
still.
spend a ton of bennies. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you
Yeah.
could have said I don't have the money for that. Can we make out a deal where like maybe I work for it or maybe I do a favor or something like that? But you instead opted just to spend bennies. So
Yeah.
or
I
you
don't
could have
want-
taken
this guy
like
doesn't seem like the kind of.
Yeah.
And my other thing is I want to get out of this part of town, and I don't want him to be like, oh yeah, hey, Spencer's doing jobs for this guy, and trying to avoid the kind of people in this part of town.
Right. Plus he's better than these people
You know.
now, right? Isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be hanging out with these people.
Right.
Right. And can you throw in a holster? Since I'm paying all this money.
Sure. Yes. He says, fine, I'll give you the holster too. Jeez. I'll give you a concealable. It's obvious that you want to keep it hidden.
Thank you.
All right, but your wealth goes down by 1 step
Okay, so
because you just made it by success. I'm trying to get caught up on your whispers, by the way, guys, so I can be caught up on y'all conversation. So,
Oh, we're just talking about where we might put the science lab.
oh, okay. Oh, so what was the consensus then?
The second empty shuttle, the empty shuttle bay, unless I don't know exactly how much gear there is, but it seems like that is the most likely spot to be able to hold it.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to remind you guys of some things I mentioned to Arthur. You may want to make sure you seal up that door somehow when you put all that equipment in there, because then someone could somehow hack those doors or somehow make those cargo doors, the shuttle doors open, and then all that fancy equipment get pulled out, and it would really suck. So, yeah. And then I saw you say something about your armor. What were you talking about with your armor?
I was telling Arthur that in my head, at least, not necessarily, I never mentioned it to you, but like in my head, his bucket of tools and bucket of random armor bits that don't necessarily exist yet because I've never actually paid for any of it. We're just sitting in a corner in that area anyway.
Yeah, like things he's collected over time. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and maybe you could like pick another place, maybe on like the screen and stuff like that. We could say that could go somewhere else, or maybe it could like you find a corner of the science lab be like your armor station. Kind of like how have you ever seen like the game Anthem? It's all about like space armor. Characters run out of space armor. They have like so Fallout. Fallout is a great example. You have like a power armor station. Kind of like that, we have like a station for that in the science lab, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be pretty
When you
cool.
get to that point, obviously.
Oh,
When
yeah,
you get, but
eventually.
like even just a tool crib. So, but anyways,
Eventually, it's gonna look like Iron Man's.
yeah,
lab.
well, you don't have big enough shit for that. Iron Man has a whole like bat cave, but yeah. Okay, so Shaun, now you have a laser pistol. It only cost you somewhere between $1,000 and $2,000, but yeah. But
Yeah, I upset people, you know.
all right,
How-
that's how GM bennies are used. So all right,
Yeah, totally forced me to spend 3 pennies.
all right.
You got a really good. Yeah.
Well, actually, it was just you rolling bad. You failed actually with the first one, I think. All right.
It was so weird. Yeah, on a D12.
All right. So you got your equipment. Are you gonna just hightail it and get out now?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you guys do now while he leaves y'all on red?
On red.
It's a you never heard that term? Like you just like ignoring your text while he's down in the
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, I'm just flying down, and I guess I would.
Yeah, you're probably like
Oh.
it probably takes you time to get down to the planet, right? Because you got to go
Yeah.
through like ILR Transit Authority, the ITA, to get orders to find landing back, all that kind of stuff. So is
Yeah.
Arthur just like wandering around in the spaceport?
He probably found the closest Astro Bucks, instead of Starbucks, although Starbucks
right.
would work. He's just hanging out
Starbucks.
in a coffee
You don't have
shop.
to change it any. Right.
Claim the
Still
Starbucks.
It's still called Starbucks in the future. Yes. It's still it's probably just an even more of a mega corporation. Yes. So
Maybe he would be brushing up on the legal system here on ILR to see if he can find any loopholes
try to help his friend.
Get Aston out.
Sure. All right. Okay. That would be the research skill.
Which he does not have.
You could make academics to see if you already understand like legal systems.
Okay.
We'll see there. All right, so every system obviously has its own different legal system. The problem with like these more frontier planetary systems, like most of the sectors in this area, most of the planets in this sector, because this sector is pretty much where humans went to about 350 years ago and just like took this massive leap out into the stars, way away from the rest of humanity. Basically, humans evolved far separately from the rest of humanity and pretty much lived frontier life, right? I mean, it's basically the equivalent of like going out in the Wild West and doing your own thing for a long time. Except the U.S. government did not come and eventually take you over and make you part of the U.S. Does that make sense? You got to create your own government and do your own thing. So you have this weird situation where some countries, some planets, and some nationalities had to impromptu create their own legal systems that fit their colonies at the time. Or some were able to hold on to more civilized and appropriate legal systems because their colonies were large enough or they had lawyers survive and yada yada yada. So some planets do have good legal systems. Some have archaic legal systems because they've held onto them because they suit them fine. ILARS is it's pretty close to something like say the United States government, except it leans a bit authoritarian. Not tremendously so. It definitely leans a bit in the favor of the state, and less towards the individual and individual rights. As far as what he's getting charged with, you imagine it's basically just for his egregious act of executing the individual, because the combat encounter ended as soon as he brought the NPC to bleeding out. The NPC wasn't dead yet, quote unquote, and then he described him going up to him and executing him. He used those words, and the cops came around the corner and witnessed that. And the biggest thing they're looking for a reason for is because they wanted those guys to use for questioning. So, unfortunately, yeah, that's pretty much his biggest thing stacked against him right now. But yeah, it's very possible that he could argue defense on this one. You know, he could argue a strong self-defense case. You know, passionate act of violence, that kind of thing like that. You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yes. Kind of out of character. I realized I hadn't taken my third advance yet, so I went ahead and got research like it. I'd mentioned before.
Levi.
So I do
Jeremy,
have
take if you haven't, you get 3 advances. So if you haven't taken, you weren't here actually. Yeah. So Jeremy, take another advance. So
Cool.
But yeah, this system basically just, the legal system here just leans a bit in favor of the state. I mean, it just lines up with the whole idea of like they don't care as much about humans, and yeah. So, but anyways, so all right, okay. All right. So we'll say that you guys have. How about we just say that Jeremy has landed, Levi has landed, and all of you have met up. So Spencer arrives last, we'll say, and all of you are together at Starbucks, or the equivalent thereof, we'll say, and Spencer comes walking up.
Yeah.
Hey kid, how you doing?
Oh, you know, not bad.
Maybe you're at a sushi joint. I don't know.
So we gotta wait. Sounds like for Aston. I'll let all these legal grinding gears roll on for a bit. But in the meantime, we should try and talk to some important guy named where to go?
Mr. Wright.
Anthony Wright.
Anthony Wright.
Yes, one of the founders, the billionaire and founder of Astra Unum.
So Spencer,
you guys can actually see this in the link.
Do you actually want to officially be a part of Astra Unum, or do you want to continue to be whatever the hell you are? Because, I mean, I got to be able to introduce you as something to this guy if you're going to come meet him. You can always wait on the ship. I don't care. But
I'm like, well, man, you know, I don't want to go meet this guy. And then he tells me that he doesn't want me around.
no, I mean, I can vouch for you. You're fine. It's not that big a deal.
Okay.
I can just tell him you're a new hire from me. I hired you. How about that?
Yeah, you just FYI, your ship is hired on a contract basis. You can have whoever you want on your ship. So
okay, I was wondering about that because they were getting paid even though they weren't on Astra Unum's
Yeah,
books.
you get paid
Yeah. Okay.
per job for Astra Unum, and all Astra Unum does is basically make y'all's ship payment one cheaper. So that's the only other assistance they give y'all. So, and then y'all could do other individual jobs if you want. So you're basically subcontracting out to them. So you can hire whoever you want on the ship.
Yeah. And that's why I'm like, you can meet him, you can not.
Well,
You're a teenager, you don't care. Got it. Cool. Um um
like, yeah, he's a billionaire. I've never met a billionaire before.
Could
you
be
met
fun.
me?
What was that?
I think he said it could be fun, and I said you've met me. I've seen $1 billion move through my bank account over all of these years. Doing some math.
Oh, does that
Somehow
count?
it always slips your fingers.
It takes a lot of money to live and ship payments and crap. I don't know.
Yes,
That's my
ships are
story.
very
I'm sticking to
expensive.
it.
Yes.
Nice.
Do we know if
By the way, if you're wondering, your ship payment is about $25,000 a month.
Jesus.
Yeah. So if you actually did it by credits, yeah.
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 Do we know if Anthony is on this planet or if we have to like
He's in a
do
capital
recorded
ship in
messaging?
orbit, geosynchronous
Sweet.
orbit.
And Jeremy has lost the thread of what we were going to bug him about. Oh, we were going to tell him about your sister's work, right?
Yeah.
And that's
I
something
thought you had.
you mentioned.
And you may also just be going there because he's your friend, but yeah.
Right.
Or to just
okay.
to tell him that the job on Takis 3 is complete. I mean,
That too. Yeah. Was there something that Arthur had said from your sister? Never mind. I'm remembering that now.
She has some exciting new research she's doing and would like our help, but we need to get permission from.
Exactly. That's yeah. So we can just mention that and be like, if you don't have anything else for us to do, we're probably going to head over there and see about bringing some junk that way. Okay. I would like to try and get on his schedule, if you will.
And Arthur will speak up. You know, he might be able to, although I guess Aston's family is pretty famous and well-to-do here, but he might be able to pull some strings for Aston as well.
right. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, you can ask him that when you get there. So,
Exactly.
all right. So you contact his assistant. Of course, you know her by name, and you know her well. You probably actually can call Anthony himself if you want to, because you guys go way back. So,
We'll be
you follow
business-like and call Moneypenny.
Okay, all right. So you call Moneypenny, and so you schedule an appointment. They can squeeze you in 3 hours. So, all right. So you guys get in there and take you an hour to get out there. So, and so you guys get in, and so you guys fly up to the ship. So the capital ship, Astra Unum's capital ship, is a. So this is their flagship. You know, it's not. By the way, he is a billionaire and the founder of Astra Unum, but Astra Unum is not his only operation. That's just his nonprofit, right?
Yeah, it's the tax evasion part of his billionaire scheme.
He's not. Yeah, no, this is like his side project, right? He has other companies and like investments and projects. He's like Elon Musk. He probably has like 10 different companies, right? So, So anyway, so you're led into this capital ship, and it's actually Astra Unum is actually about a vessel that's probably about 80, 90 years old. It's not the newest vessel. It's an older model. But they've done a good job of keeping it up to snuff. It wasn't new when he got it, and acquired it for the charity, because the charity's only been around for like 30 years. But it looks good. It looks good. They've kept it in great shape. Ships tend to stay in cycle for a long time. It's just pretty standard stuff. So anyway, so you're led into his offices, which are they're not audacious or anything. They're just nice, clean, and so he has a quote unquote view in his office, but it's not a view. It's vid screens that look like a view out into the stars, around him. But his office is actually completely enclosed in the center of the ship. But they do actually show him the outside of the ship. It mimics the cameras outside. And anyways, so you see this. It's kind of an elongated office, so he has lots of area to pace around. So Anthony Wright is kind of his hair is starting to thin on top and kind of like recede a little bit. And it's kind of doing it a little later in life because he is in his early 60s. And he's got like a thin beard, very thin, kind of keeps it very short and cut to his face. He's kind of stocky, but not necessarily overweight or anything. And he's just a little bit over average height, 6 foot. And so, contrast to Levi, why don't you describe yourself, actually? We haven't described our characters in a while. Why don't you describe what your character looks like?
So my character looks like the actor Sam Elliott in one of his various westerns. So like the big bushy mustache that comes all the way down to your cheekbone kind of thing, and salt and pepper hair and facial hair. And of course has the backpack cowboy hat, and tall, skinny, like almost rail thin kind of dude, and old, like 66-ish, something like that.
Uh-huh. And how is he like dressed right now?
In just normal clothes. I don't actually know what normal clothes for him would be. I always
He's
think of him
definitely
in
not
his,
like in his armor or anything, though. He's
definitely not.
And he's not in
Definitely
like
not
an
in
Astra Unum like uniform, or even like a navy.
Yes. He's got the Astra
even
Unum
like
polo on.
Does he?
Because that is his casual wear. He's more comfortable in the
He
armor.
doesn't have a style. He's one of those people that doesn't have style.
Exactly.
Nice. Yeah, that actually makes sense, because I like living in the country, right? I know those people that wear, like, when they go out, they wear the clothes they get at like business functions. Like they wear like the shirt that says like so and so's Motors, but polo, and then they just wear a belt and they tuck it into their jeans.
Yep.
Your character is basically the space version of that.
Exactly.
I actually love that. That makes sense. So he's in company clothes, but not because he's a company man per se. It's just because he doesn't have style. Okay, I actually love that. Okay, that's actually fitting. Okay. All right.
I just assume he's trying to suck up to the boss.
Sure, that makes total sense too.
Because I have no idea.
Yeah. All right.
Really?
And so we see you, which is kind of stark contrast to him, who's like cleaned up, and he's obviously not wearing a suit and tie at his nonprofit on a day-to-day, but he's very well dressed, and the clean beard, and like he's salt and pepper, of course, like you, but And then Arthur, we see you behind him. We've already described your character actually today, but like, how are you dressed right now for this meeting?
Um, I was just thinking about that. Nothing. He would be casual as well. But again, I'm not sure what exactly that would look like.
Right.
It'd be something fairly practical, I would think, and probably minimalistic.
Yeah. It's
He's
not flip flops and
into fashion.
yeah. Okay. All right. But it's not like flip flops and like basketball shorts, casual, right?
No,
Yeah,
it'd
yeah.
be basic shoes, pants, a shirt, maybe a vest or a jacket.
Right. Okay.
Pretty
All right.
pretty basic.
Okay. All right. And Spencer just got a whole new set of duds, though, right? Spencer's got a whole new wardrobe. He could look like Flava Flav if he wanted to, right? Oh, Jeremy missed that last session when what happened that made you
I
have
got through the
to?
VOD where he got the not motion sickness, but the jump cannon
Oh
accident.
Yeah.
He crapped his
Okay,
pants
yeah.
or something and threw him out the airlock.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
At least have new pants. Yeah.
So he's got new
So-
pants. Okay.
Yeah. So pretty much, at least his stuff is clean.
Okay. So
Are
he's
they cargo
clean.
pants?
Like
Are
a
they
nice
parachute pants?
Parachute
Yeah.
pants.
space
That's
helmet.
hilarious.
Space
Hammer
pants?
pants. Nice.
He's
Okay.
got space pants.
I don't know what space pants are, but all right. Okay. All right. So we see you guys. We
I'll
see you
send
guys.
the video.
So we see you guys together. And do you all sit casually in his office wherever there's a chair, or do you all just like wait for him to? Because he kind of stands. He kind of stands there and he offers his hand to all of you to like shake your hand, and he says, Levi, it's so good to see you, friend. I'm so glad everybody made it back. I'm so glad. Sorry, he doesn't say everybody because
Yeah.
obviously Captain Davidson didn't survive. He says, "I'm so glad you made it back safe at least." He says, "Please have a seat, friends."
Thank you. Yeah, it was rough getting in to the prior system, but I don't know what was up with that. But Davison, obviously, you read the report, but we got everything else situated and helped out the locals with their terrorist attack. I don't even know.
I heard that situation got completely out of control, and that was above and beyond for you guys. But it was very much appreciated. I'm sure the people there of Takis tremendously appreciate it. And at this point, he's kind of like, you know how people will like half lean and half sit on their desk. He's kind of doing that. While you guys are maybe like sitting at like his couches and chairs, and he's just kind of talking with you. And he says, and like an assistant brings in drinks for you all, and just kind of like snacks. And he says, so yeah, that whole business with Takis. I'm sorry you guys got wrapped up in all that. But I tell you what, that was good for the organization, and that'll help
Exactly.
Takis out, and it'll help them out a lot. And look, you may have already heard if you saw the news when you were coming on through. After what happened with you guys with the Takis Defense Force, well, at the time, news reports were misrepresenting that. News reports, apparently Geneva was misrepresenting that and telling us the Takis Defense Force was the ones who attacked you, not wolves attacked your ship. Okay? So, I was working on wrong information until you sent me your communique from the planet. Now, I immediately was thinking, okay, maybe we should start looking into having an outside contractor that specializes in cargo transportation. And so now I've reached out with an organization named Brax Courtney Enterprises. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. So Brax Courtney
And
Enterprises.
I just kind of put my face in my hand.
He says, I think you've heard of them, Levi?
Yeah. So yes, we carried one of Ashton back from ILR, and then I'm pointing at these two. Something happened with the diplomat we were carrying after she got here. After the diplomat got here. I'm sure they're going to write up a report, or you can look at the police report, but he was involved. They're okay. I don't know.
Arthur would speak up and say there was an attempted assassination and Aston helped put a stop to it, and there's an investigation.
That's
and they're
not
holding
him laughing. That's me laughing. Okay.
Holding him without any real charges at this point. They're investigating. But yeah.
And Aston was very instrumental in assisting us and helping get our ship fixed quicker than it otherwise would have been, and helped in our efforts on ILR to deal with the bug problem and etc. So he's a little pompous or something, but he's doing the right thing. So I don't know what is up with the charges or whatnot, but if we can figure out anything to do to help him, we should.
Well, unfortunately, with us being a non-profit organization, I mean, us getting our hands on that is a very dangerous situation. It's just not. It's a public relations nightmare for me to get someone out of jail and then them turn out to do something else later would be a nightmare. But I can personally find someone who could post his bail. So
I'm sure he would be appreciative. He may be able to post his own bail. Who knows? It kind of depends on what kind of craziness
right.
they end up
and I
bail.
may be able to just have some conversations without anything official and maybe help the situation.
That's the kind of stuff that
yes.
he was good at.
Yes. So, but I can't promise that will go very far. So, but I'll do the best I can. But, yes, his father and his father's company, his father and his mother's company are very important to us at the moment because, well, really, you guys don't really have the cargo hold on your ship to be doing that kind of work. And now I'm hoping to adjust really this company's mission statement slightly. I mean, while we still will be doing stuff like relief aid, I also want to focus on the science side and research side of the betterment of mankind. And your vessel isn't so well suited towards cargo, if you will.
Exactly.
Right.
But as it so happens, Arthur's been wheeling and dealing with the ILR forces, and he's got a pretty sweet pile of stuff that still needs to be set up a little bit. But He's been geeking out about it the whole trip. It's great.
Technically, we used it to complete the research for the Takis people,
Right.
the bug thing. So yeah, we were just
okay.
discussing where it should have gone.
Oh, so you're going to be having a science station on the ship?
Yep.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Sounds wonderful. But to interrupt this conversation, I see there's a familiar face with you in the back. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, a new face in the back.
Yeah, this is Spencer. He's a new hire. Trying to whip him into shape. Spencer.
He offers his hand to you. Says, "I'm Anthony Wright. I'm founder of Astra Unum. Me and Oma Kapoor, myself and Oma Kapoor, founded the company together decades ago, and we're glad to have you on board."
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure to be here and to meet you.
And he just kind of like shakes your hand very firmly, and then just kind of like slides back to his neutral position on his desk, and says,
He's not gonna bite, Spencer. It's okay.
I'm just kind of looking. I'm just kind of like looking at everything and trying to guess how much it costs. Drinking free Cokes or whatever.
he says, so what skill set
Gotta get
do you
on
bring
this
to the
week's-
team? Did you give him his name? I missed it. Did you say Spencer?
Yeah, I introduced.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't give
he
him
says,
his last name.
so what skill set do you bring to his ship, Spencer?
Lately, just kind of odd jobs, cooking.
He's learning how to use a mop real well.
What was that?
Mop. He's learning how to use a mop very well.
From what Levi keeps telling me, it's a skill if it needs to be.
Well, our ship scanner showed that you have significant psychic talent.
I was wondering why that would make some sense. Yes, sir, that would make some sense.
My character is actually laughing a little bit.
What sort of psychic talents do you possess?
I'm still trying to figure that out, but I generally get impressions from people where sometimes their thoughts come across. Other times I can just sort of push out energy. And I'm playing around with some other stuff.
Playing around. Be careful with that. He says,
You are very right, sir.
he says,
I was able to scare off some bugs on Takis.
there we are. The real crux of the reason why you're with the team. Your real talent. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. It's good to have a psionist on a ship. Are you a psionist? Were you trained, traditionally trained?
I have not been formally trained.
Oh, street training.
Yes.
Mm.
I'm just trying to kind of learn as I go along. Learning on the job, so to speak.
Well, that's how I got to where I was. So sometimes you have to learn on your own, right? So Well, it's wonderful to meet you, Spencer. So I'm sure you will find a purpose and a place within the crew and within our organization. So I'm sure we will. I promise that as long as you're with us, your talents will get put to good and honest use. It won't be misused. So, and you won't have to worry about whether you can sleep at night. So,
As long as you keep the floor clean.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I can't overstate the amount of mopping I do.
now I can't promise that Levi won't send you on some dirty jobs though on the side. I have
am
no control over those.
mildly offended by that.
He kind of smiles. He says, but is there anything else now that we've talked about Takis, kind of squared things away? Is there anything else we want to talk about while we're here?
Well, sir, my sister, and I don't remember if you came up with a name for her
I did
already.
not. So
Okay, I'm thinking her name is Adira.
I thought.
My sister Adira sent me a message that she's working for you on a top secret project somewhere nearby, and she thought our help would be very, very useful. But she said we should talk to you first to get your approval.
Yes. All right. Sure. I'll give you proper clearance to head her way. I'll give you the coordinates and the name of the system and all that stuff, and then you have the clearance to head that direction. So thank you for checking in with me, of course. Yes, it's quite a sensitive subject that she's working on. It's only a select few people within our organization that are handling that issue. So, however, there is one small thing I'd like for you guys to help me with before you take on that, if you can. And it's actually connected to, well, it's something that I think I will need Brax Courtney Enterprises for when it's all said and done. But essentially, and actually, you know what? You can, since your sister is the expert on, one of our experts on alien technology at the moment. Once you pick up the package, you can deliver it to her. Okay? Or you can have Brax Courtney Enterprises deliver it to her. Okay? If you want to put it on your vessel, you're welcome to. But if I was you, I would let Brax Courtney Enterprises haul it. Okay? But we have an issue. So, now, as part of our arrangement with Brax Courtney Enterprises, now, I wanted to show good faith to see if they could help me recover this item. So we had a shipment, an alien artifact that we found and recovered. All right. As you know, of course, there are other subcontracted ships like yours that work for us. Well, we lost contact with one. Another system. It was carrying an alien artifact that was on transit to one of our research labs, and just out of the blue, it didn't check in when it was supposed to. The next jump can. Now, normally this wouldn't necessarily be that strange but we don't want to send just anyone out looking for this ship. Right? We like a normal situation like this, the cargo ship, you might tell the local defense authority, hey, we've got this lost ship and keep it out for it. But we don't want this alien artifact just recovered by anyone. Does that make sense? So, we're hoping if you guys can work with that with Brax Courtney Enterprises, see if we can recover this alien artifact. You guys grab it. Well, see what happened first. Investigate what happened. Then, if we can, get it to your sister in her research laboratory. So, and then of course you can check in with her about her other project while you're there. So, that would be wonderful. And this would be also a good opportunity for us to be a good show of faith between Brax Courtney Enterprises and us. And it would be a good step towards building our contract with them. So, and it would be like the first mission together. So, before our contract begins. So, and hopefully we can get Aston out of there, and he can join you on this. So, what do you guys think? Do you want to help me out with it?
Sure, boss. Is it? Do we know anything about the artifact already? Like, is it possibly the thing that's caused an issue with the other ship? What do we know?
Sure, I'll send you all the relevant data, and
Sure.
it's a lot to dig through. I'm not exactly the expert on all this kind of stuff, so I really couldn't explain all of it to you. But I'll send you all the experts' files on it, and hopefully you can make heads or tails of all this information. And so he just kind of like goes over to his desk, and you see him touch his fingers on the desk, and you see like a holo screen pop up, and him just like swipe his hand across, and all of you receive files on your comm links and your DDPs. I'm sorry, your PDDs. Now, the people in the
Okay.
comm links, unfortunately, won't really have a good way of viewing it because it's just a comm link. But you have it.
I mean, Arthur could pull it up on his PDD if,
Right.
if we want
And
to
of
look
course,
at it
you
right
guys
now.
can put it on your ship. So,
Yeah.
All right. So it is a. Okay. So do you guys leave the meeting, or do you just want to sit there, Arthur, while you're discussing Arthur and look at it?
I figure I would want to skim the big points and just make sure there's not anything obviously fishy already.
Your comm link doesn't really have
don't-
functionality on that kind of thing.
Okay.
You have to get a PDD to do
Well,
it.
Arthur,
Yeah.
Arthur will pull it up on his personal data device,
Yeah.
and then we can go over it and see if we have any questions.
Yeah, sure. All right. It's the it's a Megani system. It is it's longer jumps. It's further away. It's 3 jumps away. 3 systems away. But it is but it looks like the 2 systems in between are smaller systems. They're dwarf systems. So Megani system is where it's at. Or at least that's where they believe the ship is lost. So, and basically you'll have to essentially get there, guys, and start from the last place the last transmission was.
Yeah.
And normally how these kind of things work, you'll have to basically go to that location. Your files included a last known transmission location, the Megani system, its location from yours, which is 3 jumps away. The 2 systems between yours are dwarf systems, which means less travel time. And then once you're in that area, the file readouts also include a drive signature, which means it'll be easier. It'll help you find the ship. Because the sooner you get there, the better, though. Because you'll basically be scanning for the drive signature. And where the ship passed through. But that'll start fading if it takes you longer. Get out there. So. All right.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the hardest part of that so far is just the making sure we have the cash for food and gas kind of a thing. So
do you mention this to
shouldn't
him?
be that big a deal. Yeah.
Yeah. He says I'll give you some upfront cost for I'll give you some we'll stock your food supply and your fuel from our stores while you're here. And so we'll refuel you with our reserves here. So hopefully that'll get you where you need to go.
Exactly.
Or at least that'll get you somewhat there. And then of course I can give you payment up front for work. Now, the only people who will receive payment up front who are people who have a wealth of D6. Okay. So, who has a wealth of D6?
Nobody.
Nope. Okay. So y'all are so wealthy right now at this point.
Yeah.
This is chump change to you. So, in other words, you guys got
Can
more money
we-
than you realize. So, yeah.
You said we can put money in savings. Can
Yeah,
we
let me
drop
look at that,
our
actually.
wealth level to put it in
Let me look at
savings?
actually at that. Let me look at that. About the savings actually.
I do think I need to go on a shopping spree.
It says whenever your character wants to save their funds for a rainy day or make a big, whenever a character receives rewards, he may choose to change each increase in wealth into a point of savings instead. Okay.
So since there's no increase at this point, we couldn't?
But you're still receiving an award, I think. Guess? Yeah, I guess so. Right now, we'll rule it that way. So if you guys want to, you can put a point in savings. So put a point in savings. So add a part on your sheet. So what you'll do is under currency, put in one of those boxes, put savings, and put 1.
And that is essentially a +1 to wealth rolls?
Yes. No, it's a one time only. +1 bonus to wealth rolls. You choose to spend it.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm actually doing y'all's max pools and current pools. and you need to make a ship payment. Don't forget that before you leave.
Right. Do we want if we're done with talking to Anthony? Why can't I keep names straight? Yeah,
Anthony, right?
Then we could do that, and I could see about buying a couple other odds and ends, or attempting to at least.
Let's take our first break. So everyone, we'll be right back.
Okay.
We won't be long. We're just gonna take a short break, and then we'll be right back, everyone. Thanks for joining us.